you're doing fabulous. Shaz here with another To Buy or Not to Buy. In these videos, I talk about new makeup, and I'm gonna try to talk myself out of buying as much as I can, and instead trying to dupe the makeup that I'm interested in. If that sounds good, give this video a thumbs up, and let's get into it. The candle today is what you see in the background, pumpkin spice from Walmart. Yes, we are getting close to that time of the year, or rather, that time of the year for me is 9 months. So. And we do have some coffee to get us through. And for today's look, I'm going to use my dupe of Botanical. I have a few dupes that I promised you all that's going to be posted in this channel in the next couple of weeks. Also, as far as new videos are concerned, beauties, I have to say this because I'm so excited about it. Yay! I'm so excited. So this is my purchase, the only purchase I had for Q2. It went a little over budget because my budget was $200, but I knew I wanted to buy all 3 of them. So it is what it is, and this is all I bought, and I'm so excited to get into them. But from one look, one thing I can say is that I was expecting more greens. A full review of all 3 palettes is going to come up. Give me some time because I have a lot of stuff coming up. The dupes of Cool Trolls is now up. I also duped Nude Trolls. That video is going to be up, as well as Secret Garden. I promised you all, so I have to post that. And then this one, and I'm planning on making my dupe videos much shorter, maybe trying to keep them to 10 minutes. Okay, the first thing I have to talk about is these, and they really had me. When I saw these, the reveal, I talked about the sneak peek last week, but when I saw the reveal, you all know I've been meaning to try Ensley Rain, and for a variety of reasons I end up not, but it is still one of those brands that I want to try. And when I saw this, I was very tempted. The palettes are around $50 to $60 range. One is $50, one is $55, but for 12 pounds, I don't know. We've seen 20 plus pounds from Ensley Rain go for $75, so I do feel like it's a little pricey. Why? Can someone explain to me? Because we have cosmic brushes doing all kinds of variety of things at amazing quality for 30 something dollars. So yeah, I still need to understand why Ensley Rain thinks we have a lot of disposable income. I want to understand that, because a lot of people have lost their jobs, particularly if they worked in tech, and the price of everything is going up. So yeah, eyeshadow palettes are not essential. I really thought about this because it was very tempting. It was one of those things that I almost thought I'm gonna break my no buy for. But I can dupe this. If you want me to dupe this, write the name of which one of these you want me to dupe, or if both, write the name of both in the comments below so I know and I prioritize that video. I still feel like Ensley Rain is doing a high price, and if they are produced in China, that price is not merited. Because the reason brands produce in China is because it's cheaper to produce. If Cliona, for example, is charging a high price, is because they're producing these in Canada and they're hand pressed. But if a palette is produced in China and is mass produced and it's third-party manufactured, which means it's part of a mass production, there's no reason why it should be more expensive than other brands. And because of that, I'm not so sure if it's worth that price for me, because I know I can get better quality for cheaper. Like, for example, picking up matte singles that would match these from Sydney Grace during their Christmas and July sale. Sydney Grace is also hand pressed and produced in the US. Also, beauties, I am wearing House of Hades from Mooncat on my nails. This is one of Mooncat's most popular shades. I'll probably do a reel on Instagram and a short here just showing you this from close up with some of my thoughts on it. And we have these from NBA Cosmetics. These are sparkle metallics, and they have already released. Obviously, a lot of the sparkle and whatever that you see in this photo is filter. Shade's not going to look like that. I imagine that these would be something like the Glimmer collection from Glaminatrix, and I have 2 of the series from that collection, so 12 pans already. So I don't think I'm gonna need these. I probably have dupes of them. Sydney Grace has a sneak peek something for the Christmas in July sale. First of all, it is happening. Thank goodness. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it for the past year, since the last sale. I've already made a list. Also, beauties, I have created a list. This is another video. That's why I'm a little bit delayed on some of these videos, because I have so many editing to do. But I have made a list of my top 20s from Sydney Grace of the unique shades that they have that I want to share with you all. These are unique shades, so these are shades I don't see very often from different brands. If you're interested in seeing this video, stay tuned. Sydney Grace also revealed these 4 palettes. These are going to be 9 pans, and they have fully revealed their Southern Spring, which is a beautiful palette. I need to see the deals on this, but realistically, I probably can dupe this. The lowest row are shades that I don't think I have dupes of in my Sydney Grace. I realize I don't really have a lot of olives from Sydney Grace, which is on my list of things to buy, but I probably have similar colors to the other ones. I can't wait to see the other 3 palettes though. As we know, perfumes are a thing of 2024, and as such, Sephora has released a whole lot of favorite bundles for perfumes. I have never used their perfume samplers, but I've used other kinds of samplers like lip samplers, mascara samplers all the time. And the benefit of using these is to test to see what looks good on you when you're using lips and whatnot. But the truth is, with perfumes, you can even test it on yourself in the store. So unless you think you really need to test something for a few times before developing an opinion on it, maybe you don't need this. Although these look truly like a sampler, and I don't know if I want to spend money on super small sampler size, right? Like, that should be free. There used to be a day not that long ago, like a few years ago, when that was free. And I don't know if I want to spend money on that. How much are these? $88? You gotta be kidding me. No, beauties, you don't need this. $88? Are they smoking something? You do not need this. Moving on. This next one is something I'm excited about. You all know how much I love Shine by SD because I consider them as one of those unique brands. Watch my swatch videos of the singles I have from them to know why. And because of that, I'm excited every time I see new releases from them, but they are pricey. Don't buy from them full price. Either use someone's code or wait on a sale. Maybe you can even top up someone's code on the sale. And that's going to be what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to just make a note of what I want and buy during Black Friday sale. Beauties, if you don't have a channel, which I'm guessing most of you don't need these now. Black Friday is like 3 months away. You can wait a little bit and buy these at a fraction of the price. They're having new iridescent multichromes that are releasing on the 21st. And I can't wait to see more swatches of these. And they're also releasing just what they're calling a mystery bundle. And I love how they're just called beautiful mystery. Like every shade is a beautiful mystery with a number. Now it seems like the mystery bundle is limited edition. I always feel like brands don't put as much time and energy in developing limited edition products. This isn't always true, but just logically, if something is just going to be available for a short period of time, what incentive do you have to really keep people happy? Think about it. Maybe if I find swatches of this collection and I absolutely love something, maybe I'll pick something up. Otherwise, if it's not available during Black Friday sale anymore, too bad. Give Me Glow is releasing Magic Slick Color Changing Lip Oils. I'm not in the market for lip oils, but just mentioning that Give Me Glow has a lot of these kinds of palettes, and I've bought a whole lot of them because I'm always in need of more magnetic palettes to be able to do these dupes. And I'm pretty happy. The only issue with it is that this is raised, so if I stack them, it's just not gonna, they can't fully stack. But as far as lip oils are concerned, it's a pass. I have enough lip products. Colourpop has restocked the Wings collection that they came out with, I want to say 2 years ago. And it seems like they've added a few things, and I think what's new are these pencils. They're supposed to be sort of color shifting. I think they're kind of multichromes, but they don't want to be advertising it as multichromes because frankly, the Colourpop multichromy stuff, like they released some liquid eyeshadows that were sort of multichromy, were not as shifty as a lot of the multichrome we talk about nowadays. So I really need to swatch these to know if they swatch like that. The two that caught my eyes are the green one and the blue one, but I have multichrome liners that I purchased more than a year ago that I haven't used. So I'm not going to go buy these. Kryptane Cosmetics has done a sneak peek. Okay, I can't wait to see what they're up to. For this look, I'm using Behind the Scenes primer from Lorac. And while that's drying, let's talk about Charlotte Tilbury. None of this is anything that catches my eyes. I understand Charlotte Tilbury is popular with a lot of people, but I can dupe all of this. And I don't have whatever $100-something that these probably are. How many of these is there? I think it's just this Fire Rose Luxury Palette. It also has too many shimmers. You don't need that many shimmers. They should have put a lighter matte. And now that we've crossed the border to more luxury items, let's also talk about this one, which I'm sure a lot of people are waiting for. And I've already seen it advertised on a lot of people's community tab. You all know what I'm talking about. Nowadays, those community tabs on YouTube are becoming where people push us their discount codes and incentivize us to buy more products. This is the Mini Rose eyeshadow palette from Natasha Denona. And to be fully frank, if this really swatches like that, I'm here for that taupe matte. I want to dupe this with Sydney Grace, but I don't know if I have a taupe matte like that. And if I don't, if you all know what Sydney Grace color would be a dupe for this, please enlighten me so that I make sure I add it to my to purchase list from the Christmas and July sale. Natasha Denona didn't have a larger rose palette, right? So what this could mean is there are more palettes, larger mini and midi versions to come. And while we're talking about prestige brands, Too Faced also launched the Crush High Shine Glitter Eye and Face Sparkle in 6 colors. Not for me. Moving on. This one is kind of exciting, although I'm not a complexion product person. Glamlight is releasing its first complexion product, and these are honestly super cute. I don't know if this is a collab with anybody because I saw Strawberry Shortcake and we know that's trademarked. This is exciting, and I'm also particularly excited to see Glamlight move away from doing all these collabs with scary movies. I'm going to use my Singe brushes and getting started on the look. I'm going to start with my favorite brush, EO2, going into this beautiful, beautiful peach. Botanical itself is a beautiful palette, but I kind of like my dupe more. This is just going in my crease. The single I'm using for this shade is a beautiful matte from a glam shop called Bergamotka or Bergamot. And you can see the amazing pigment. When I go over the dupes, I'll talk about this, but this row are colors that you could substitute for some of the colors in the palette, so this row is extra. However, I have made a few looks with this dupe palette, and now I feel like I can actually just keep that row and use it with the rest of the shades in the palette. Now with EO4, I'm gonna go into this one, and I'm gonna use it to blend these edges a little bit. Now I'm going to use EO1 and I'm going to go into this reddish brown color and I'm going to use it to deepen the outer V, and I'm going to bring down the same brush with whatever's left on it and brush it across my lower lash. I always go at the very end and blend everything, so if things look a little patchy to you now, just bear with it for the moment. Now again with EO2 and whatever's left on it, I'm gonna just blend this lower lash. I want to quickly talk about this one from Notoriously Morbid. This surprised me because this kind of color story, we haven't seen it very frequently and we definitely haven't seen it recently. So the novelty is a plus, but I don't need it. I can dupe this. I continue to say I would really want to try Notoriously Morbid mattes because in photos they look so pretty and buttery and pigmented. Now, what you see in photos might not be what ends up happening in reality. Are they pigmented? If you've used them, let me know. And talking about Notoriously Morbid, there are some lip stuff as well, and their lip stuff are also things that every once in a while I'm like, I really want this, like this one. Don't you want to try this? Yeah, but do they really look like that? Have you tried these funky lip products? We also have a lot of brands I've never heard about, like MUA Cosmetics. Okay, an all plastic palette that is pretty cheap looking, reminds me of Revolution. And it looks like it's an English brand because the prices are in pounds. Not for me. We have Hermes releasing makeup. Not for me. This is probably like $200 a piece. And they're coming in September. I don't know why we are talking about them now, but moving on. Let's talk about this one from Mad Witch because they've been sneak peeking this for quite a bit and now they've released the inside. I have seen the inside of this palette before. What I mean is this color story has been done before. Now, I know. All color stories have been done before, but we've seen a palette that was like 95% this. And the palette I'm talking about was 12 hands. You know which palette I'm talking about? If you know what I'm talking about, write it below. If I find a photo of it and remember what palette it is, I'll put it on the screen. But when I saw this, I was like, this is releasing again? Oh, wait a minute, this is not that palette. Now, it's a beautiful color story, no doubt, but I passed on the other one, and I'm going to pass on this one, particularly that I don't think the other one had a matte black. This palette is supposed to have 1 multichrome and 1 holographic, 6 duochromes, 8 mattes. And it's $66. A whopping $66. No, I'm not buying. I don't care that it has 16 pans. That's too much. There used to be a day when Colourpop 16 pans were like less than $20. I don't know where we're going and why things are getting so expensive. No, I'm not paying $66 for 16 pans. I'm just not. A little more. I'm going to use E01 again, and going into this one, you can use the other side of the brush if you don't want it to mix with the other color that you used. But the other color was lighter, so you should still be good. And I'm just trying to deepen out this area. And then with the same shade that's left on it, just drag it as close to my lower lash line as I can. I'm going to pick this one, which is FF5 from Morphe and Nyan, and I'm going to go into this very light matte and use it to highlight the inner corner. If you want, you can use the same brush and also highlight the brow bone and so on, but I think I'm good. For across the lid shimmer, I have many options depending on what I'm going for. I can do this green to completely contrast the coral across my lid. I could use that one. The orange shade, this is sort of an orangey bluey shade that I picked. I could go dark, I could do different things, but I think I'm gonna use this one. This is a very unique shade. This is from Luxie Beauty. Unfortunately, there's a whole lot of controversy going on with Luxie. If you all have an open order with Luxie, I truly hope that Luxie turns around and fulfills people's orders. This is Splash. It has a very beautiful green shift and then generally a cool toned gold shift. And I want to put this across my lid. That cool toned gold is going to contrast the very bold, hot, warm shade that I have across the lid right now. I'm using a little bit of shadow epoxy from MBA and I'm putting it here and going into Splash. You see the gold and the green undertone and shift. It even has sort of a teal shift. You all know I love a contrast of teal and orange. Picking up E01 again with that deep shade, I'm just gonna blend with tapping motion this edge of the shimmer into the matte shade. And I think the eyeshadow look is done. Beauties, I completed the look off camera. As always, everything I used is in the description box below. And I'm gonna put a close-up reel of this look, again, as always, on Instagram. There's a couple of things I still want to talk about to complete this video. First of all is this sneak peek, Angry Leprechaun collection sneak peeking from Clarity Cosmetics. Clarity has been so active recently. I'm curious to see this fully revealed. Then we have these triple fix translucent loose setting powders from Liss. Thankfully, I don't use anything on for complexion, so money in my pocket. Apparently, they're doing 7 different shades designed to complement all skin tones, types, and textures. And then last but not least is Unearthly's Night of Terror mystery box, which is no longer a mystery box because it was already revealed by people who have received this. I actually don't know if the people who reviewed it had ordered it and received it, or it was just a PR. I wouldn't know. But I've seen some videos unveiling what's going to be in this mystery box on YouTube, including a video from the owner of Unearthly Cosmetics herself. I'm going to talk about the products in here, so if you don't want to know what's in this box, if you've not seen the videos already unveiling this, skip this part of the video. But there are 3 products in this mystery bundle: a lip gloss, a highlighter, and a 9-pan eyeshadow palette or pressed pigment palette. I'm not interested in highlighters or lip glosses, so all I'm going to talk about is the 9-pan palette, which is a very purple looking palette. I already mentioned this earlier this year, beauties. This is the year of purple monotones. I mentioned we've seen all kinds of purple palettes, and this is another one. Did we need this? You be the judge, but I'm not picking it up. I don't think it's missing in my collection, and I know I can dupe this. And I can guarantee you can dupe this too. If you have purchased any other one of the many purple palettes we only saw this year, forget about all the purple monotones we saw in the past years. You already have this, or a moderate dupe of it. That's my 2 cents, and I'm sticking to it. Beauties, if you enjoyed these kinds of videos, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel if you enjoyed these kinds of videos. I try to do the to buy or not to buys on a weekly. The playlist is going to be recommended to you about now. Don't forget to write to me before you leave what makeup you managed to talk yourself out of buying this week. Have an amazing day, and until next time, bye!